Picture this: the most remote, unforgiving corner of Oregon. Endless high desert, high mountaintops, and not a soul in sight for over 140 miles. This is the original Oregon Backcountry Discovery Route, Section 1. The classic southern route through the Pueblo Mountains, Beatys Butte, and Hart Mountain that the BDR team officially retired just months ago in late 2025. We chased this one late in September. Perfect late summer weather, zero crowds, and pure isolation. And today, we're saying goodbye to this legendary section, which might be one of the last full runs of the Oregon High Desert. My name is Stefan, and this is Bronc Riding. No trip to this corner of Oregon is complete without stopping at Fields Station. The burgers are legendary, and the milkshakes are unreal. But most importantly, it's our last gas station until Plush, more than 140 miles away from here, all the way at the other end of Section 1. So we topped off, grabbed some food, and headed out, ready for some real isolation. We are just south of Fields in southeast Oregon and just gassed up, and now we're ready to tackle Section 1 of the Oregon BDR that goes from here over to Hart Mountain to the little town of Plush. So we got a couple of days to do that, and I hope it's going to be a fun trip. The weather is fantastic right now, 85 degrees, super sunshine, although it's September, can't ask for better weather. So now it's time to air down the Bronco and hit the trail. This is going to be amazing. Fields, by the way, if you guys are ever in this area here, Fields is the only place to get gas. If you're heading over to the Iowa Desert or something, that's the place you want to check out. And by the way, they got the best milkshakes in the area, which they got the only milkshakes in the area, but they're still the best. So since this trail is probably pretty rocky, we are here in the desert part of the state, we have decided to air it down to 17 psi for better grip and more comfort too. These ridges rise sharp and proud, and then fall away into nothing but open desert stretching forever. Horizon to horizon, empty, not a single soul in sight. The evening light bathes all in a soft, impossible glow, and that light turns everything warm, amber, and gold. It is humbling, truly humbling, to stand in a place this vast, this untouched. A reminder that some corners of this world still belong only to the wind and the sky. This is exactly what we came for. This little fan has been a lifesaver on these dusty desert runs. It blows off the worst of the dust and grit that's collected all over the tailgate, so we won't be dragging it inside the truck all that much. we have found an incredible camp spot on a ridge with 360-degree views. And as the sun dipped, we took a little break to soak it all in before we were cooking dinner. That looks good. Late in the season like this, the nights cool off to a very pleasant temperature, and the stars in this dark corner of Oregon are unbelievable. Good morning. We got a great night's sleep last night at our campsite that we found here on the Oregon BDR Section 1. And so we climbed over the Domingo Pass, and then we're in a valley here and found a great spot with 360 views all the way around, all by ourselves. And yeah, we had a good night's sleep because it was a long day yesterday. We had to drive down to Fields, which was an almost 7-hour drive to get down here. And then we got on the trail, so we didn't really go for a long trail ride yesterday. We were pretty tired by the time we got on the trail. So it's morning time. We got great weather, no wind. The temperatures are really pleasant, so it was very nice. And you know, it's mid-September. But yeah, we're gonna break down camp here very soon. Have a quick breakfast, and then we get on the trail. This is going to be a long section, so we want to get started early. The next morning, we grabbed a quick breakfast and coffee and then hit the trail early. This is the longest section of the Oregon BDR, and we had no clue how the day would play out. So we wanted to play it safe and give us plenty of time to explore. If you like wide open spaces, this is for you. This whole section of the Oregon BDR, the section 1, is really interesting because you go through these vast valleys and then you climb over the next mountain, have wonderful views. So it's really fun, and it's diverse too, which is great. It's not just boring long gravel road. You just climb over a mountain. It's going to get pretty rocky, and then you're going to get back down the valley. You can actually get a little distance going. So we love it. It's a great place. So if you love wide open spaces, this is a place you might want to put on your list to check out. There behind us is one of those springs. It's called the Spring in the Cave. Really cool, in the middle of the desert. It's a little cave on those rock formations here, and then a little trickle of water comes down there. And down there is a little reservoir pond, and that's where they bring all the cattle to get some water. We took a little but worthwhile detour to the summit of Beatys Butte at nearly 8,000 feet elevation. The views from this mountaintop were phenomenal. There was no sign of civilization all the way to the horizon in any direction, which gives you an incredible sense of scale. But the weather started shifting and some overcast skies were moving in. Potato chips at 7,800 feet. That's a lot of pressure on that bag. That's an epic lunch spot. A little earlier we went on the Beatys Butte summit, almost 8,000 feet, a lone mountain here in the area, and the view is absolutely off the charts, 360 degrees around, and not a city or any sign of civilization. It's just as far as you can see, you have the Oregon desert for yourself, which is so cool. And now we are on a pretty rocky part of the trail, so it's pretty slow going, but not very technical, but you know, you got to pay a little attention. But it's rocky and slow going, so you got to take some time. Ever so often, we'd cross these dry lake beds or playas. This part of Oregon has no outlet to the ocean, so rainwater just pools here in these shallow basins, and some of them are quite large, like the Alvord Desert or Lake Abert. In the summer, these playas are bone dry and flat and make for tempting camping spots. But never camp on one of these if there is a chance of rain in the forecast. Rain can turn them into muddy lakes overnight, and chances of getting your vehicle recovered out here are, well, let's just say I'd rather not try such an adventure. By the time we reached Hart Mountain, a few raindrops hit the windshield, but nothing serious. But more importantly, this is where we finally linked up with the section that we attempted 2 years earlier. It felt like a real milestone. We'd now have completed the entire Oregon BDR. Oregon offers so many wildly different landscapes. I'm a little sad that these desert sections are phased out of the official route, but we'll definitely be back here to explore them on our own. Okay, good morning from the Hart Mountain. We are now at the end of the section 1 of the Oregon Backcountry Discovery Route. We had a great time. We finished it late yesterday evening. Came down here and for a change stayed actually in a little campground, which is a really cool little campground and is with this amazing scenery behind us. So this is really hard to beat. So we stayed here, which was kind of cool. So now we're going to head down to Plush and pray that they're going to have gas, because we're not going to have an awful lot left other than what's in the reserve tanks and something in the tank of the Duke. So let's hope they're going to have gas so we can start to head our trek home, which is quite a drive today. So. We were relieved to find the little store in Plush open on a Sunday morning. The next gas station was another 40 miles away from here, which would have really stretched our gas reserves. I'm glad we dodged that bullet. It feels like a real accomplishment to have finally checked off the whole Oregon BDR. This state is unbelievable in its variety. Endless high desert solitude, snow-capped volcanoes with those stunning year-round glaciers in the Cascades, hidden lava tubes and magical caves, and those lush green forests that feel like another world. The beauty of routes like the Oregon BDR is that it takes you places that most people will never get to see. Remote corners, epic views, and quiet moments that stick with you forever. That's what makes it so special. And adventures like this is why we keep coming back. We hope you have enjoyed the come along on this one. If you did, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and drop us a comment if you have tried this section, or if you want to share which was your favorite part of the Oregon BDR. Thanks for watching. See you on the trail.